everyone, this is Lupe from Bruno Planning Co. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new to my channel, I upload a video on all things planning at least once a week, and I would love for you to join me and subscribe. Besides my Erin Condren planner, this is another item that I use daily, and I've been using it for about 2 months, maybe a little more, I think. I know that they were super popular when they came out, and they were out of stock very soon afterward, and I purchased mine right before they went out of stock. They did come back in stock, I believe, last month or maybe at the beginning of this month, so definitely a popular item, and I know that they are out of stock right now as I'm doing this video, but I did email customer service and they should be available in November. I'm just not quite sure when in November, but hopefully soon, because it is definitely a popular item. It's a great item to gift as well, so it's definitely popular, but I have to tell you that it does live up to the hype. For context, I am a teacher, so I take this with me every single day to school. It is touched and used every day. I put it in my teacher planner. I take it out in the classroom and have it out as well. And I have owned so many pencil pouches, as I'm sure we all have. Even, going back to high school, I've just owned so many, and I bought so many, and I have so many that I don't use anymore, and that's because they weren't really working out for me. And I really want to show you why I love it so much, what I fit in here, and just the overall quality. So one thing that I want to talk about first is the size. Now, I don't know if you can tell from my hands how big this is. I brought a couple of items that might help you see what the size is, but I don't know about you, but I am so bad at looking at the sizes online before I purchase something. So when I bought this, I had no idea what the size was going to be. So this is my daily duo, which is the Life Planner, and it is the 7x9, so it's very similar if you already own a planner from Erin Condren, and it is almost exactly the same. Let me see. It's almost exactly the same length as the planner. Sorry, it's almost the same length as the planner cover. So you can see that is about, let me see, maybe a little bit off, but it's about the same length as the planner itself, just for reference there. And then in terms of width, it is a little bit wider than the half of the planner. So just a little bit wider than half of the planner. So just for context, you could of course look up the dimensions for it on the website, but I just wanted a more kind of realistic view of what that was like. So it is pretty big, and I was really surprised when I got it in my EC box. I didn't look at the dimensions. And so I was just really surprised because I've owned a similar one from Amazon. I don't remember the brand, and I tried to look for it, but I think I got rid of it when I was cleaning out my desk. But it was not as big as this, and it didn't fit as much as this. But it had that basic shape of kind of like a rectangle, and it was flat, and all the pens are laying horizontally. So I have owned something similar to this, but not the same quality, and definitely not the same size as well. So that's the size, but the material, if you can see, is kind of like this, what is that called? Oh my gosh, what's it called? I don't know what it's called. Okay, I had to look it up, but it's neoprene, I believe. It doesn't say it on the EC website that that's what this is, but that's what it reminds me of. And also, when I first got it, besides being shocked at the size of it, when I was first touching it, I'm like, I know what this is. Like, this feels like something else that I own from EC. And here's what it feels like. This is the teacher planner size. You can't even fit it in my camera space here, but this is the teacher size planner pouch, or what is it called? The folio, I believe. Yeah, it's called the planner folio. So this one is for the teacher planner. Like I said, it's very big, but if you can see, it is very much the same kind of material. You can kind of see that it has that same look to it, and the zipper kind of feels the same as well. So if you already own a planner folio, then that sort of material, that's what you're gonna expect for this pencil pouch. It's very similar. Even the top where it has that print is very similar and smooth. So that's something that you can, oh, and I forgot how much I love this one so much. I don't use this one because I do keep my teacher planner at school now that I'm more into like the routine of it. So I don't really need it to bring it home, but I realized how pretty this is. Look at how pretty this cover is. It's so nice. I got this like a few years ago, maybe like 2 to 3 years ago, actually. I love those apples. Okay, I'm getting distracted. So this is also very beautiful, but again, that is the same type of feel. So I was surprised by that. I don't know what I was expecting. Surprised because I was expecting more of like a plasticky feel. That's at least what I've gotten before, these types of pencil pouches. But this is so nice to feel. It's soft, it's flexible, it's like just really smooth. I love this much better than what I've had in the past in terms of these rectangle pencil pouches. So for my pattern, I did pick this one. I'm trying to figure out what it's called. This one is called the Meadows, and there were like 3 different options for this one, and I chose this kind of darker version just because I've had pencil pouches before that they're light, and then of course you write on it accidentally because it's a pencil pouch, and so your pens are very near it. And so I just wanted something really pretty but dark still, and they are all in black, so the only thing that really changes is that top cover. So this is how it looks from there, and it's very vibrant. I know that the planner folios had an issue where the vibrancy of the cover was not as good, and I know this is dented. It's because I have had it in the same spot for about 2 years, like I said. So these were not as vibrant, but I think they did change the way that they make them so that this year I've seen a lot of comments saying that the planner folios are much more vibrant in terms of the colors, and so I think they did the same thing here, and I hope it's coming out that this is very vibrant and really pretty. And so again, they have a lot of different patterns that you can choose from. I'm trying to look at it now, and it looks like you have an option of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, maybe like 11, 12, maybe a little bit more, because some of them have different patterns like this pattern, or some of them have different colorways. So this one had 3 different colorways you can choose from. So you have a few different options, and then you can also personalize it, which is really nice. I just did my first initial and my last name, so I'm just going to be using it as school. So if I lose it, people should be able to recognize that it's mine because of my last name. So I do love the material. I of course love that this is so nice and vibrant. The material is great because again, it's soft, but it's also stretchy. So you can fit a ton more than what I'm probably going to show you, and you'll see mine bulge out a little bit, which is nice because it's not rigid, so you can definitely fit a lot more. The zipper is really nice and thick, so I, like I said, I open this, at least 3 or 4 times every single day for the last few months, so it has definitely held up there, and I don't know, I'm in love with the way that this feels. So actually, let me stay inside, and then we can definitely start putting some things in there. But inside it has this kind of like more plasticky cover where you can put some stickers in here or some more accessories. I'll show you what I put in there. And then you have a few different loops for some pens. Okay, so those loops are there, and then you also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more in the back, and it's just so that you can separate some of your pens. I like to use this for the pens that I use the most, just so that they're on the top. And then you have this huge space to just put whatever you want. There is no pockets, there's nothing like that here, which I actually really like, just because you can do whatever you want. You can put so much here, and the added bonus of having this pocket here is great, especially since there's nothing here. But that's it. That's the pencil pouch. Is mostly just like a box that's super flexible. And so let's get into what I actually put in mine, and then hopefully that gives you an idea of what you can use this for and what you can actually fit in here. So let me start with this outside pocket. So I found that this pocket is really great for stickers because it keeps them protected, it keeps them away from the pens, and it almost acts like a little folder. So here, I'll show you which ones I usually have in here. I usually have my long teacher stickers or planner stickers that I have in my shop. So these are meeting stickers. I also have this little one that just tells me the type of meeting. I have some of my note stickers as well, some of my more specific teacher stickers, my prep stickers, grading, all of the different kinds that I have in my shop specifically for teachers, or not really specific since this is just call. But those teacher stickers I do like to use in my teacher planner. So I do like to have them with me at school, and so I just slip them in here, and then you put that little top piece on top so that they're covered, they're protected, they don't get folded, they just stay on the very top. They fit absolutely perfectly in here. You can fit more if you want. If you like to plan on the go, you can fit some planner stickers in here. And it's just, I don't know, I love that I can keep them with me. It doesn't have to be in like a different folder. I don't have to put them in my folder in the planner. It's just there with all of my different planner supplies. So I love that. That's where they stay. And then here, what I like to do is you put the pens that I use most often. I like to use these Pentel pens. So those go here, and these are pretty thick, so they fit pretty nice. And I was surprised by that, just because sometimes these loops are very tiny. I don't think I can fit a bunch of these Pentel pens next to each other, just because again, they are thick. So I usually just kind of skip one and then put another one of my Pentel here, and then I'll skip another one and then put like my Friction black pen here, which I use very often. friction pens could probably fit next to each other, but if you notice, just because these are super thick, it'll be hard. Well, I don't know. Let me try another Frixion pen. Okay, it's actually not so bad. I would do that, but let me see. It might actually be better if there's more in here. I'm just figuring out new things, guys. Sometimes I don't try things. Yeah, that actually works pretty good. I think, let me see if I can fit another one. Just for the sake of it. All right, that one's taking a little bit longer to go in there. All right, so maybe not all 5, just because these are, again, thicker pens. If you're using, yeah, that one was stuck in there. If you're using like the EC dual tip markers, these are a little bit of a thinner barrel, so those go in pretty nice, of course, because that's what it's probably made for. But these are just a little bit thicker, and that's fine. I keep mostly just these 2 in here, and then what else do I keep over here? Sometimes I keep my Mildliner in here, the one that I'm using for that day. So for example, if I'm using the purple one, then I'll just keep these because these are the ones I reach for right away. So I'll keep those there. These I actually don't use. What I think I might start doing though, just because I do put a ton of stuff here. So for things to be easily found, I think I would probably put my Muji pens in here because I've been using those a lot more recently. So I'm just going to go ahead, and these are thin, so I could probably put these, yeah, those are easy to go in, easy to come out, and I could definitely fit them next to each other. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Put my Pentel ones that I use in my planner, and then my Muji ones here that I use for notepads. Okay, so now for here, I do kind of pack this a little bit with all different types of items. So one of the things I always have here is my Apple Pencil. So my Apple Pencil I use for school in terms of notes, showing the students notes while we're doing our remote learning. And then I also use it to draw my stickers on my iPad. So I have to have this with me all the time. I do have it in like a protective case just to make it a little bit thicker. And then in this case, just to protect it from everything else. I guess I could just, you know, put it here and it'd be fine, or just slip it into like here. But I just like having the nib protected a little bit more. So I just go ahead and put it in this box, and then I just put it in here. So this kind of, it just fits perfectly in here, and it also adds a little bit more, what's the word, rigidness to the case if I do want it to have more like of a separation between things here and then things over here. So next I have a ton of pens, so I just kind of organize them a little bit, but mostly they're just kind of random in here, but I'll show you how it's just easy to find all of them. So I have a bunch of friction pens that I use in my teacher planner specifically. I usually have at least 3 Mildliners that I take with me to school, and then here's actually another friction pen, and I use all these different colors for different things in my teacher planner, which is also an Erin Condren teacher planner. Then I have some tool pens. Why do I have these in here? I do love to use this blue one sometimes for notes that I'm just doing off to the side. And I don't know, I think I just like keeping those in there. And then I also have 2 Erin Condren dual tip markers, and those I also just like to use on like post-it notes and things like that. I have a pencil, which is a tool mechanical pencil, which I think needs lead, so we'll definitely do that later. And then I do have a micron pen. This one is a purple one. I don't know why I have this one with me. I think sometimes if I'm planning on my daily duo during lunch, I think that's why I want to keep all these in here. Do I have a Statler pen as well, so you can see a ton. Look at how much I have in there already. And then I usually have my brush pen, again, if I'm planning. And I also have my tweezers for planning. I do like to put my period stickers at school. So I don't know if you've seen this before. My October dashboard is completely blank. I still haven't figured that out, guys. So I do like to put these period stickers at school for the next day, just because I keep these period stickers at school, just so they're not at home and I don't forget. But I like to use my tweezers to put these stickers down for the next day. So that's why I like to keep them in here. So I just put them, I usually put them over here just because they do end up getting a little bit lost in here. So again, just kind of adds a little bit of separateness there. So there's a few more things that I'm gonna add in here, but I just again want to show you how like this hasn't even filled to the top. There is so much more that you can fit in here. I try to limit the things that I take just because of weight, of size, and so I don't get you know, anxiety from having like a ton of things that I don't necessarily need to bring with me. But let me show you what else I do. So I usually kind of push this up a little bit too, so you can see how my pens just kind of push up, and then you have all of this space right here. So I put a little micro, what is this called? A microfiber cloth, and this is just a little Scotch brand one. And I use this for my iPad mostly just to clean it off. So I keep that down here. And then on top of this, I usually put my AirPods. So I just put that there. And my AirPods are in a case so that the case doesn't get ruined. And I did put my little logo there just because I thought it was cute. And so that fits right there perfectly. And then I also have a pad of sticky notes. These I usually just kind of throw in here like this. But I'm thinking that they would be very useful if I just kind of put that there. So those fit perfectly there. And as I'm doing this video, honestly, I'm also organizing and trying to figure out how this worked best. But this is usually how I have it. It's just a little bit more organized than normal. You could also put whiteout in here just on top or off. Actually, you could probably put this, I could probably put this here, but I actually have a few of these at school and then I have some at home. So I don't necessarily need to bring that along with me. So one of the last things I put in here is my chapstick. So I'll just put that here, or I'll just put it off to the side just so it doesn't get in between all of my pens. So having it this way, I have all of my pens that I need for the day that I use all of the time right here on this little flap. And then I have everything else that I might need here as well, along with other things that I use. And so finding pens here is super easy just because you can just, you know, go like this, find the pen, you can see all of them. You don't have to, you know, like dig into like a pouch that you can't see all of them. You can move them off to the side. I feel like it's just so much easier. And again, I have owned something like this before, so I knew that I would like this, but I think the fact that it's bigger, that it's less rigid, it just makes it more malleable and more kind of adjustable to what you need and what you need to put in it. So that's really great. And so let me show you what happens when I close it. So it closes pretty easily. I don't think I have a ton of stuff in here. I don't know how much people actually put in here, but this is really what I use every day. So that's why I have that. So you can see how it did bulge a little bit. Not even that much, honestly, guys. Like it still feels, it's not feeling tight or anything like that, but you can see it bulge a little bit. But it feels full. Definitely not full to its max though, I don't think. But yeah, it's the pencil pouch. And I know it's just a pencil pouch, and I feel like, you know, some people be like, oh, it's just a pencil pouch, but I use this every day. I need it to be functional for me. I need it to be able to hold everything I need every day and just make it easy for me to transition from my home office to my teacher office, because we aren't working from home. If I was working from home, then I probably wouldn't be using this, because just would have everything laid out on my desk. But here, packing up to go to school every morning has to be really easy, and I end up just leaving everything in here even when I'm home, and I just open it up on my desk at home and everything's here. I don't have to take it out. And then the next day when I'm ready to go back to school, I just seal it up and I'm ready to go. So I think this works really well for teachers, for students, for people who take a lot of planning things along with them, wherever, you know, if it's work or if you're going on a trip. I just think it's a great addition to just your planner accessories and things to keep you organized. And one of the things I did want to mention that I know a lot of people were talking about, because I do like to say all the things that I love, and then I do like to say things that I don't necessarily love or that people have mentioned that are potential issues. So one thing that I did see in the Facebook groups about this that some people were not liking was this kind of white border. Let me show you. You see how you have the print on the top? It looks like they don't print it all the way to the edge of the material. Looks like they just kind of stop at a certain point. And so what happens is, you know, when it's bulky like this, it might stretch out, and then you'll start seeing, or you will see, just because it's stretched, that white border around. And you can see it kind of pretty much everywhere, maybe not here, but you can definitely see it here. And then when it's not bulky, let me see if I can take a few things out and see what happens when it's not bulky, if you can still kind of see the white. I think you can. I think I saw it earlier. Yeah, so you can still see it even when it's not stretched. So there, I'm kind of flattening it a little, well, flattening a little bit, but you can still see that white. So that was putting a few people off. I know some people contacted customer service about it. I don't I didn't even really see it until someone pointed it out in the group, and I'm like, oh yeah, mine has that too. But I don't know. I didn't mind. I don't mind. I don't see it. I think if you have like a lighter color that's not black, you probably won't see it at all. I don't know. You know, there's always the debate of, you know, you pay money for the quality and so it should be perfect. And I don't know if it's just because, you know, of how they print it that they don't decide to go all the way. I don't know why they wouldn't. Maybe as they're kind of restocking, maybe they'll change the way that they print it. But for me, I don't know. It doesn't bother me. So just something to be aware of when you get yours that might potentially happen. I don't know if this is like a regular thing actually, or if it's, you know, just some pencil pouches are printed this way. So I don't really know, but just want to make sure you guys know that that might be a potential possibility of your pencil pouch. So let's get to the cost. I wasn't a huge fan when I saw the cost for this. So this cost $20. And for me, a pencil pouch is really important because again, I use it every day, but $20 seems kind of like a lot of money for a pencil pouch. I don't think I've spent more than, I don't know, $12 on a pencil pouch, and they've all been pretty good quality. This one is definitely the most functional I've ever had and the one that I love the most. So the $20 really now feels like it was worth it, but it does seem like a high price point. Now, you do get the personalization, so, you know, that's part of the cost there. If you don't get it personalized, it's $20 still. So, you know, you kind of have to think about that and maybe get it personalized just to make it a little bit extra worth it. But I feel like that's still a little bit of a steep cost for a pencil pouch. That's just me, just from my experience of buying different ones. I don't necessarily think the quality is any like higher quality than any of the other ones that I've bought before. Again, it's more functional for me personally, so that just really depends on the person. But again, for me, it was worth the money. I am definitely going to get a ton of use out of this. I am going to think about getting another one just to get a different print, and that's just because I like to change it up a little bit, and I think it's great that you can personalize it. And I'm definitely thinking about giving some of these as gifts with a coupon, of course, but I think they make really great gifts, and I think they're so functional. You can definitely use them for other things besides pens. I feel like it's such a great organizational box in itself. I'm not quite sure what you would use for the loops for, and if you weren't using them for pens, but I'm sure that someone creative will definitely find some way to use this for whatever they need. All right, so that's the Erin Condren Pencil Pouch. I hope this video was helpful in just deciding if you want to buy it or if you want to just give it a try. I know sometimes the cost can deter you from purchasing, but it's really helpful, I think, to see these kinds of videos and to just get a different perspective on it. I will definitely be recommending this, and again, gifting them as gifts. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you stick around for the next one and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.